Potential can grow from silence. In 1880, a sick baby girl in Alabama, USA, lost her sight and hearing. Her name was Helen Keller. She could not see the world. She could not hear voices. Many people believed she would never learn to speak or read. Today, her books are read in many countries. Her words inspire millions of people. Her life changed how the world sees disability and learning. Imagine living in darkness and silence. This was Helen Keller's life as a child, but everything changed when one teacher entered her world. Most people know Helen Keller as a famous writer. Few people know her painful childhood. Few people know how close she was to giving up. Her story is not only about learning words. It is about discovering purpose. It is about using hidden strength. This story will teach you how effort becomes power. This story will teach you how to believe in yourself. This story will teach you how not to waste your potential. The story begins in the late 19th century, in the southern part of the United States. Life was very different at that time. There were no phones. There were no computers. Schools for disabled children were rare. People did not understand blindness and deafness well. Many families hid children with disabilities. Most believed such children could not learn. This was a world with strong limits. It was also a world that needed courage and new thinking. Helen Keller was born in 1880 in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Her father was a soldier and newspaper editor. Her mother came from a respected family. As a baby, Helen was healthy and happy. She laughed, she played, she loved to explore. At the age of 19 months, Helen became very sick. After the sickness, she could not see. She could not hear. She could not speak. Her family felt confused and afraid. Helen became angry and wild. She broke plates. She cried often. She was not special yet. She was a small child in pain. Helen lived in a loving home, but her world was dark and silent. She could not understand words. She could not control her emotions. Her parents tried to help her. They used signs with their hands, but communication was weak. Helen felt trapped. Trapped means unable to escape. She could not say what she wanted. She could not ask questions. She could not share feelings. This made her behavior difficult. She hit others. She threw food. She lived without rules. The family worried about her future. They feared she would never learn. Helen wanted to understand the world. She wanted to know what things meant. She wanted to feel connected. Her parents wanted one thing. They wanted Helen to learn language. They searched for help. They heard about a school for blind children. They contacted a young teacher named Anne Sullivan. This was a moment of decision. They decided to invite the teacher to their home. Helen did not know it yet, but her life was about to change forever. This was the beginning of her journey. Anne Sullivan arrived in Helen's home in 1887. She was young and patient. She believed Helen could learn. At first, Anne tried to teach Helen simple words using hand signs. She spelled DOLL into Helen's hand. Then she gave Helen a doll. Helen felt the letters, but she did not understand their meaning. She became frustrated. Frustrated means feeling upset because something is hard. She pushed Anne away. She broke toys. She cried in anger. Anne also felt tired. Teaching Helen was very difficult. However, Anne did not leave. She stayed calm. She repeated lessons again and again. Each day brought small pain and small hope. Day after day, Helen practiced hand signs. She touched objects. She felt their shapes. Anne used repetition. Repetition means doing something again and again. Anne spelled words into Helen's hand many times. Cup, bread, water. Slowly, Helen began to connect, feeling with meaning. One famous day, Anne took Helen to a water pump. Cold water flowed over Helen's hand. Anne spelled WATER. Suddenly, Helen understood. She realized that every object had a name. This was a miracle moment. A door in her mind opened. From that day, Helen learned new words quickly. She touched trees. She felt flowers. She learned their names. Her world became larger. Vocabulary grew. Knowledge grew. Hope grew. Learning was not easy for Helen. She studied for many hours each day. She had to focus deeply. She could not play like other children. She could not run freely. She lived by strict lessons. Sometimes she felt lonely. Sometimes she felt tired. There were moments of doubt. Doubt means not believing something will work. There were moments when Helen Keller wanted to quit. But then she remembered her progress. She remembered her first word. She remembered the joy of learning. Anne encouraged her. Her family supported her. Because of this, Helen continued. Anne Sullivan became Helen's guide and voice. She did not only teach words, she taught discipline. Discipline means training yourself to work hard. Anne took Helen outside. She showed her the world through touch. Helen learned to read using Braille. She learned to write. Later, she learned to speak. This was the turning point. From this moment, things began to change. Little did Helen know, this decision would change history. Her mind was no longer trapped. Her future became bright. The girl who lived in darkness began to see with knowledge. And her real rise had just begun.